guys, I'm Rhonda.
I'm Brandy.
And welcome to
Girl Talk with R&B.
All right, guys, so today's podcast, we're going to be talking about loving the skin that you're in. So, Brandy, let's talk about the importance of loving the skin that you're in.
Well, first of all, you only get one, right?
What's
you get one skin. You know what I'm saying? So when we think about that, it is so important to love who you are. Love, and I'm going to even say from your skin tone. You know what I'm saying? Let's think about the skin that we're in. We're talking about our body, our uniqueness or whatever, right? Because again, you only get one. You can make some changes to it, but if you don't love you are with you all the time, 24/7.
Yes.
So it will be really great to have a foundation of I love me. I love the skin that I'm in.
Yes,
right?
I love that. So some of the things that loving yourself can do, it can ignite the positive outlook on your life, right? So when you're loving who you are, you exude loving tendencies, everything around you, you're making sure that you're taken care of as far as your health, as far as everything, and just loving yourself enough to take care of yourself and get some rest. Because sometimes I'll be like, I don't even love myself. I just be up doing stuff, but you need to make sure that you get your rest. I have to tell myself that all the time.
Right.
Another thing is it allows us to know that we're good enough, because sometimes certain situations can make you feel like maybe I'm not good enough. But when you love yourself, you can just knock that idea right on out the park. You are good enough.
Yeah. And I think loving the skin that we are in, like you said, it allows you to know that you're good enough. And I think it also it creates or helps you develop a level of resiliency, right?
Yes, I love that.
Because life is going to happen. There will be, again, so when I think about loving me, and y'all have heard me talk about my weight in the past on other podcasts and stuff, but the reality is I love my skin tone.
Yes.
I've even told my husband, I really like my hands and stuff. I take time sometimes to actually say, hey, I love my hands. I love my elbow, seriously,
all of me.
I love all of me. Are there some things that I would change?
Yes.
Yeah. But me wanting to change for the better, that is still a part of loving me.
Yes.
Because some of the changes that I'm currently making for the better is out of loving this temple, loving this one body, because you only get one. You can make some alterations to it.
Yeah.
But you only get one.
Yeah.
And when you love you, when you truly love you, you are less likely to allow someone to come in and try to tear you down, to come in and try to make you feel bad about who you are, what you look like, whether it's your hair. Y'all see, Rhonda and I, we both rocking the locks, you know what I'm saying? But I love my locks.
I love mine too.
I love them. And even if nobody else around likes them, loves them, thinks they're attractive, I do. So, child, when I spritz my hair, I'm like, baby, I'm loving it.
I heard growing and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all see that ponytail
She
back
got
there?
a ponytail. She came in here and I was like, she got a ponytail.
Right. So, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. Yes, I can make improvements, but I get one body, and I'm grateful. I am so grateful for what God has given me, because I'm unique. We are all unique. I don't care if you are an identical twin.
You're unique.
There's something different about you and your identical twin, right?
Yes. Yep, I do agree with that, and I love that analogy for sure. So One of the other things that we want to talk about too is meeting yourself where you are right now. So like when Brandy was talking about her weight, she is taking on, she's doing things to change it. When you don't like something about yourself, she's eating right. When you don't like something about yourself, don't down yourself. Do something about it, y'all. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you depressed. Do if it's something that you can do about it, then do it.
Yeah. And then when it's something that you can't, you have to find, okay, so for instance, there are so many things that are out of our control, right? I'm 5'3". I'm not growing anymore, right? I could put on some heels to make myself look taller. But the reality, I will say this, there was a time where I was like, man, I wish I was about 5'7". I just wanted to be taller. I don't know why. I just wanted to be taller. And then I've gotten to I eventually got to a place I was like, Brandy, you're 5'3". It is what it is.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. Yeah, I may need some help. I'm at the grocery store reaching and I'm like, hey, can you reach that for me? It's okay. It's okay. But I had to come to a place of, it is what it is. And so now I love the idea now of being, because anything I think 5'5" and under is considered petite in height. So I'm like, hey,
I'm petite.
I'm a little shorty, and it's okay. But I had to realize, and then I have some girlfriends that are tall. They're like 5'10" and taller. I have one particular girlfriend that wasn't so confident about it, because she was just like, I never really liked being tall. I was like, really? And I'm like, I know so many women that would love to be 5'10", to be 6 feet tall. Then I have one of my girlfriends, baby, she's 6 feet tall and she loves it. She's just like, honey, I'm a tall glass of milk. You know what I'm saying? And so, but again, pretty much the same height, but they have learned to embrace it, because it's not a lot that you can do about it. And so when you say about giving yourself permission, meeting yourself where you are, again, I go back to the way, if it's something that you want to fix about yourself, we're not talking about going and cutting off a limb, like, oh, I want some longer arms, but if it's something within that's realistic, do it, and let's be real. It may even be, I know some women that are like, hey, I want larger breasts. I've always had more of a according breast size, they feel like they look like a teenager. Okay. If that's something that's going to allow you to feel more confident in the skin that you're in, go for it. Go for it.
I agree with that for sure. Because I know before I had cancer, I was part of the and then after all of a sudden I started gaining weight and I got some, I was like, thank you. I don't have, but that was in my plans, definitely, to have surgery. For sure. Because so one of my things is my butt. And I know I can fix my butt if I just do squats and exercise. But I don't do that, so my butt's still looking the same. So, I can do something to fix that.
I'm still laughing at the ITBC. Let me tell you. So it's so funny. I posted a picture probably some weeks back, and I said, I remember the days I was in the ITBC, right? And oh my goodness, I was not liking it. I was not. Oh my goodness. I would see the women and with their balloon. It just looks
and
so
the cleavage
it looks sexy. Then I had kids, and let me tell you something. I wish I could go back, but there's not a lot that I can do. Even when I do lose weight, they don't really go nowhere. They like to hang around. So what I know is, if I want them to be smaller, what I do is I just find some good old support to bring them in. Bring them in, So again, I gotta take what I got and make what I want. Now, for health reasons, I may consider getting a good old reduction, just because your girl deals with chronic back pain. Chronic back pain, and it is funny to go from the ITBC to the
The big old.
the other end of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? But even then, I think about like, wow, I remember there was a time where I wanted these, and now I got them. And it also helps me to remember, be grateful for what you have.
Yeah, that is true.
Because when I had them, I wouldn't appreciate them.
Yeah, that's
right?
going back to green on the other side.
Right,
Grass
right.
greener.
So those things, I'm gonna tell you, even with the weight. I saw this meme one time. Somebody said, "I wish I was the fat that I was when I thought I was fat 5 years ago." Right. So it kind of helps you get to the place of, you know what? Maybe I'm not where I want to be. There are some things that I'm working on, and what I'm working on is not going to happen overnight. But in the meantime, I'm going to love on me.
Amen. Because that's how we felt when we just were able to do our home and get our home cleaned up after we closed our shop. And y'all just don't know how good that is, and loving what you have. Like you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your home. And with all that disarray in my home, it just felt so off, you know. But we have to learn to take care of us, take care of our home, take care of the people that we love as well, you know, and make sure that we are loving the skin that we're in.
Right. Let's see what else you got on here.
We could talk about the what self-doubt and self-sabotage can do.
Man, listen.
Some damage for sure.
It can definitely do damage. Let's just think about like self-doubt. There are people around us that are rooting for us. Sometimes we have people around us that are rooting and cheering for us louder than what we've ever cheered for ourselves, right? There are people who see, again, going back to whether it's a physical thing, there are people that they have found something so beautiful and attractive about you, and you're like, oh, really? You know? Because, again, the comparison, you're like, well, it doesn't look like this. It doesn't have to look like that for it to still be beautiful, right? The self-doubt, it can get you to a place of, once again, feeling like you're not good enough, or feeling like, well, I won't be enough until I change this, right? And then the self-sabotage, sometimes people can compliment, it can even be our personalities. And we come back and like, we'll find a way to play a compliment that someone has given us. And it comes from, again, the self-doubt, thinking that we're not good enough, self-sabotaging those behaviors. What does those behaviors look like? Again, not taking care of yourself. Talking down to yourself, grumbling and complaining. And let me tell you something. You are listening, right?
You hear yourself loud and clear.
You hear yourself. So if you are constantly complaining about what you're not, or it's too much of this, your body is listening, right? And it continues to add another drop in the bucket of all of the complaints that you're doing, increasing the reasons to continue to doubt and believe that you're good enough. Because if I'm speaking negativity about me, again, I'm just adding a drop in the bucket.
You put it in the universe, y'all. You put it out and put good in the universe.
The self-sabotage could just be the consistent negative talk, talk that you allow in your inner thoughts. Sometimes it may not even be anything that you share with someone else, but it's those negative thoughts that you internalize and you replay, right?
I really agree with that wholeheartedly. One of the things, and I catch myself doing this all the time, and I never thought of it is that it was self-doubt, but when people give me compliments, I always deflect them for some reason. I have no idea why I do that. And I was like, I wondered, is that rude of me to do that? Especially like when I was going over, they'd be like, oh, I like your dress, sis. I would always, I would say thank you, of course, but I would always deflect it. Or you look pretty. And I don't know why I do that. And I have been working on that. And so once we just went on a girls trip for my friend D, and I came downstairs and I was like, look at thighs, y'all. And I said, I always thought in high school, like I had chicken legs. They were like, no, your legs were always defined. In my brain, I always had a big forehead and tiny little legs. But everybody, they were like, no, Rhonda, you always had thighs and legs. And me thinking like, really? I really didn't think that. But everybody was like, yeah, Rhonda. Nope. But I had been putting myself down about my forehead and my little legs and my,
Right.
Yeah, but,
it's amazing the very things that we can be so critical of. People are like, girl, that's beautiful. Like, I think about even now that I'm gonna say it, I'm sure somebody gonna zoom in. But I think about like even with my teeth, like I'm like, you know what, I want to get my teeth straightened or whatever, and I will make comments, and people are like, but you have beautiful teeth, and again, it's because sometimes it's not what you want. It doesn't look like what you want. But I had to really get to a place where I'm like, Brandon, you do have beautiful teeth.
Yes.
Your teeth may not be picture perfect according to what you would like, but you do have beautiful teeth, and you have been told you have beautiful teeth pretty much for as long as I can remember, right? So yeah, and it's again, like you were saying, there's a lot of people. I know I'm one of those people too that I do struggle with taking compliments, right?
I do. I don't know why.
And I also had to kind of process like, what is it? What is it about a compliment that makes me feel uncomfortable? Because I have no problem giving other people compliments.
Yes.
Like I will see a woman, I'd be like, girl, oh, I love your hair. And I remember I was like, girl, look at you. You just look so cute as a bud, I have absolutely no problem giving a compliment, and those compliments are genuine.
Yes.
But when I realize that when people are giving me compliments and I can't accept it, somewhere it's rooted in self-doubt. Somewhere it's like, ooh, I cringe. They're like, oh, I love that dress. And I'll be like, oh, girl, I got this off of Amazon.
That is me.
Yes,
we do the same thing.
I got that off of Amazon.
Like that's bad. It's off Amazon.
And they're like,
that is exactly
me.
me.
It's still, instead of just saying thank you so much. Girl, oh, thank you so much. You know what? I got this off of Amazon.
That is so me.
But I'm like, oh, so
like we downplaying ourselves.
It's
So
like
maybe it is. I never thought that I had self-doubt. But when it comes to people giving me compliments, it does. I don't think it makes me.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
It's like,
and it's
like,
what do I say?
I automatically want to, you say thank you, but it's like, girl, now it's, like somebody may say, oh, I love your locks, and I'll be like, girl, thank you. I'll be like, girl, I need to get it retied. It's like, just take the compliment.
And they be like, it don't look like you do.
Yeah, just take the compliment.
Girl,
but I don't
the same.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is, but again, like I said, it's somewhere. And sometimes, remember I talked about that negative self-talk, because some of it is the stuff that we've said about ourselves for so long that now we're having to go through and like pull layers. So when someone does give us a compliment about something, we may have talked down, or we were so critical of ourselves that we could not see again the beauty or whatever. We couldn't see it. And so again, when there's a compliment, it's almost like, no, but again, it's that, because that means you got some work to do. You got to undo that. It's like the unresolved. It's that the critical talk, that that secret, putting yourself down. You got to come back and redo that, undo that, pull those layers off or whatever.
I love that. Pull those layers off. That is so true, and that's what we have to do sometimes, y'all. Like I said, I never even thought that I had like self-doubt, but from what Brandy's saying, and we're talking about this and we're talking it out, I guess I do, because Lord have mercy, somebody give me a compliment.
Like I want to go away. Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh goodness. All right. So what else we have? Okay, knowing that your true value does not it doesn't lie in your shape or your size or anything like
tone,
yes,
how long your hair is, all of that superficial stuff that causes us really to self-doubt, because society may say, well, you need to be this. I think about people that model, and I love, I guess the evolution of maybe modeling. Now you have the full figure, the plus size community, whatever, because it was at one point it was like if you were not this height, this this size, this shape, you were not model material. And it's like, says who? According to who? According to some outdated mind thought process or whatever. Because I love to see all different body shapes, because guess what, when you see the diversity of people on the runway, it helps you, I think, even like younger children, to say, oh, that person kind of looks like me. They're kind of shaped like me. So again, we have to come and undo some of the things that was put into our subconscious, so to speak, right? And
because of society.
Because of society. So again, if I do know some people that were like, maybe they couldn't model because they were not tall enough, but they had everything else, right? So that hearing somebody say, well, you're not tall enough, you're not thin enough, it can cause someone to say, I'm not enough. And so what you realize is, I might not be the right fit for that organization. Correct. But there's another one out there that would love to have me. You know what I'm saying? So yes, because if you feel like your value is, let's say, in your size, what happens when that size shifts? Are you any less value? No,
not at all.
Or what if, for instance, I remember I was in this class with this lady, and so she was always known for her beautiful hair, and then she ended up going through, cancer, going through treatment, losing her hair. She said she had to really learn that her beauty, her value, who God created her to be, was not in her hair.
Not at all.
And so she was known for, having mid-back, long hair or whatever. And so when she went through that, she said she now keeps her hair super short because she wants to be reminded that my value did not come in how long my hair. I am still valuable, whether I have hair down my back or whether I have not one piece of hair on my head. I am still valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that's some good stuff right there. Just knowing your value. Your value has nothing to do with your looks, weight, size, height, anything. Yeah. It's what's inside.
What's inside, and and even thinking about relationships, and I would love for a young lady to hear this, because if somebody is only pursuing you, if they only feel like you're valuable, you're worthy because you look like this, I'm gonna say that's somebody you want to run from, right? Because life happens. Again, what happens if? Because even in, going back to Proverbs, when they say beauty fades, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Sure. So again, if you find yourself, and I specifically said young ladies, because there is a point where, we go through that self-identity and everything, and we're, thinking that we have to look a certain way for somebody to be interested in us, right? So I say that if you find that you are trying to be a certain thing, because until I get to this certain look, this certain place, I'm not worthy. I really want you to look at doing some self-assessment and go say, okay, aside from the physical, what are those great things about me? And then it's when we start looking at your personality, looking at your kind-heartedness and stuff like that. All right.
Okay, so we can talk about, we already talked about some things that we don't like. So like with me, it was my forehead and my butt. I don't like my forehead. I don't like my butt. So with my forehead, I could just cover it up like I do. And then my butt, I could just do some squats. So you have to find a way to love the skin that you're in. If it's something that you don't like, make sure you're not downing yourself. Right. It's totally okay to have, to not like something about yourself. But the key is not downing yourself about it. It's doing something about it.
All righty.
All right, guys. So that's it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to push that notification bell. Until next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. We wanted to let you know that we are published authors and you can get our books on Amazon. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journals. I have a Dear God journal, and it's a prayer journal, and it is a 60-day journal that you can write your affirmations in. Like when we were saying on all of our podcasts, you wake up and you put what you're grateful for. It's just an awesome, awesome journal that you can have, and it's also a vision board as well. Yep. And in the front of it, you can have 100 things that you need in your life. So this kind of helps you to realize what makes you happy when you're putting it down on your page. And I also have a grief journal as well. And this is a 31-day grief journal, and it has different exercises that you can do to help you through your grieving process.
Yay. All right, and then I have my book called Book of Faith, Hearing from God. And so in this book, I share personal testimonies of my experience with hearing from God. I talk about being in a relationship that I knew was not pleasing to God, and God, blessing me with my husband. I talk about my struggles of becoming a mom, years of infertility, and how God blessed us with. We have two boys. I have an 11 and a 13-year-old now, and then I talk about a leap of faith that I took when hearing from God, and hearing God tell me that it was time to move. It definitely took a leap of faith. And also in this book, I have a 21-day devotion, because a lot of times people are like, how do I hear from God? And I'm not saying that you're going to do this 21 days and all of a sudden, but it's
hear from God.
Exactly. But it's 21 days of connecting with God, and every day that starts with the scripture. Okay. There's a motivational story, and then there's a spot where you can talk about how you can relate to this. What were your takeaways or whatever. So, Book of Faith, Hearing from God.
So guys, if you guys want to support our channel, you can go on Amazon. We will put the links down in the description, and you can purchase your books there. All right. Love you guys. Bye for now.